Rakesh, if I may come to you, we expected India to win, but never expected that the match would go right down to the wire.
Yeah. Absolutely. See, because I mean, see, for me, this has been a sort of a wake-up call for India. In terms of the way we approached it, I think somewhere we really underestimated the Afghan attack. It was a pretty straightforward surface where Indians should have gone on, but then I think the way they batted, they were cautious after a point. At some point, I thought they were a little short of confidence. But then I don't know why it happened, but then we didn't bat the way we should have. And full credit to Afghanistan, the way they batted, the way they bowled. I mean, to take that over, I mean, to take a contest into the last over, you have to give it to Afghanistan. Indians got only 2 points out of it, rest of it, all of it went to Afghanistan.
Right, Rakesh, we know that Mohammed Shami took a hat-trick in the game, but surprise, surprise, Jasprit Bumrah is the player of the match. Would you say that was a correct decision to make?
Yes, because he was the one, he got you those 2 huge wickets in that 1 over. I mean, for me, that gave India hope. And of course, Shami getting that hat-trick is all okay, but then he couldn't have been named the man of the match.
Right. Would you say now with, Shami being back in the way he has come back and, the goods that he has delivered for India, selection becomes tricky for Team India in the matches ahead?
Yeah. Not really, see, because we are expecting, Bhuvneshwar to make a return only after 2 matches. So it depends on how well Shami shows up in the next 2 games, because next 2 matches are huge. But then I don't think we should read too much into the way Shami actually bowled here, because it was a situation where the quality of batsmanship was never expected to be too good. But then, yes, give it to him. It really, I mean, he really held his nerves and he did whatever he could, because he got an opportunity to make himself be seen, and he couldn't have got a better way of showing his intent, and the way he bowled in the last over, give it to him. It was a fantastic over, really.
Right. Talking a little more about the Indian team and the lineup, this win, which is a very, very narrow win, do you think that this gives the Indian team some food for thought? Would you pick Ravindra Jadeja over Vijay Shankar as the second all-rounder?
I would like to. I would definitely like to do that, because for me, Vijay would only be seen as a number 4 only if Indians lose early wickets, because if the top 3 are contributing, then you don't really need Vijay to be at number 4, because Hardik will definitely be there, up there, because the entire thinking process changes once you have about 200 runs on the board or 250 on the board with about 40 overs gone. So that means there you don't need a number 4. You needed a number 4 in a situation like we saw against Afghanistan. Now he struggled, and it's natural. Let's not be too harsh on him. He is still to play enough number of games to get that kind of confidence. And you need somebody like Dhoni to be up there when the pressure is really on, and he can absorb it. Dhoni is the man who can absorb it. He'll get more, more number of balls to face. Then he can always do what he is capable of doing. But I think, yes, but for me, this Indian team, if the openers or the top 3 players don't come good, then you have a soft, middle order, and you have a long tail. That is for me the biggest worry.
Rakesh, interesting you spoke about MS Dhoni, and while you spoke, we brought up that graphic about MS Dhoni's dubious record, how he scored those 28 runs today, on a sluggish pitch. Apparently, his 28 of 52 balls is one of the slowest 25 plus scores in this edition of the World Cup, followed by David Warner's 26 in 48 balls, which he scored against Sri Lanka. Would you say the way he batted today was very uncharacteristic?
Not at all. See, he needed to stay, I mean, see, his intention was to take the game as deep as possible. Give it to him. I don't look at those, like numbers there. 28 runs for me matters a lot, because that time, if he had to leave early, you had a long tail. So he ensured that he took that match deep, because that's his role. He knows it. And give it to him again. Give credit to MS Dhoni for showing the way to Kedar Jadhav, because his role is something which is not seen in sheer like numbers and stats. Dhoni's role, those 28 runs, the way he scored those runs, laborious, yes, but then we needed him to stay there. I mean, flamboyance at that stage, heroics at that stage wouldn't have really helped.
Well, we also have Ibrahim on a phono with us. He joins us from Kabul. Ibrahim, thank you very much for joining us. How long would you say this Afghanistan team will continue to win hearts but not matches?
Yeah, I'm totally shocked after today's match. Yeah, we should have win this match. Yeah, we created the chances, and yeah, we must stop winning hurt and just start winning the matches. We have a golden opportunity twice in this ongoing World Cup, in this mega event. We have a potential, but we are repeatedly saying and criticizing Afghanistan cricket management, the captain, that every captain is coming and just he is making the way for himself to express himself. We need someone to step up in the one-down position, like Mohammed Nabi.
Right. So Mohammed Nabi stepped up the plate today. Ibrahim, Mohammed Nabi stepped up the plate today. He played that cameo of an innings, but there weren't quite others who could match his ability and temperament. Perhaps that's because of the amount of T20 games that he has been playing across the world.
Yeah, they are playing together from 1.5 decades. There's some new talent like Hashmat and Rahmat. They are playing with Afghanistan cricket team since 2 or 3 or 4 years. But majority of the players are playing together from the 1.5 decades. So we have problem in the batting order. We don't have problem in the bowling. We don't have no problem with the potential, with the capacity of the potential the team has. We brought brilliant players to the World Cup, but the problem is that they don't have a plan from the coach, from the captain. The batting order is just.
Ibrahim, would you say what this Afghan team lacks to get over the finish line is the mental ability? They're not mentally up there still, and that is where they have been losing matches, because this should give them a lot of confidence going ahead, considering this is a great turnaround after the England game.
Yeah, definitely. They must win the game, because you can't see player. You can't get chances to play every month or every year with the same team. So you have to show what you have. We have potential. We have ability in our batting, in our bowling. But the problem is that we don't get much from our player. We don't use our player in what they're capable of in the batting order.
Right.
Like if we reshape our batting order, I think we could chase this target easily. But the batting order is totally out of my mind what they are doing.
Right, Ibrahim, since you have been following Afghanistan cricket right from the beginning, let me ask you, the way they have played the match today, would you say that there are signs of revival, and there are signs that they have been able to come to terms with the problems of last week, the problems in the dressing room, and now those problems have been laid to rest?
The way they played against India tonight, it was amazing. I don't think anything was there. But in the previous matches, yes, there was something in the dressing room. There was a problem with the players, with the captain, with Asghar Afghan, Gulbati Naib. You just saw the tweets of Mohammed Nabi and Rashid Khan. But today match, we saw Asghar Afghan was sharing advice when Afghanistan was bowling. He was sharing advice with Gulbuddin Naib as a captain. So today I saw the unity and the friendship between the players for the first time, and it was against India. But in the matches against Sri Lanka, I just heard that Nabi refused to bowl when he asked by Gulbuddin Naib New Zealand to bowl.
Okay, that's quite remarkable. Please do stay on with us, Ibrahim. We have still some more to discuss with you. But let's look at this graphic. Virat Kohli, who Sunil Gavaskar says is a man from different planet, notched up a unique record today, scoring 3 successive half-centuries in the World Cup. Though Captain Kohli is yet to score 100 in this edition of the tournament, he is just 37 runs behind the landmark of 20,000 international runs. He'll perhaps get past Tendulkar, Lara and Ponting to get to the coveted club in least number of innings. It could come during the next match, which will mean that he would have taken 416 innings to get there. Rakesh, let me get back to you. A big 100 is still waiting from the Indian captain?
Yes, long overdue. It's long overdue, see, because he's been there, he is getting his eyes in, he's got the opportunities every time, but somehow, you know, he's not able to really, you know, make the most of the starts. But then, yes, you know, knowing him, we know how hungry he is, and for all you know, in the next 1 week, that is either on the 27th or on that big day against England, I think Virat Kohli is going to really make it happen, and he's going to make it you know, to that number of 100, which is like, you know, I mean, converting that 50 into 100. It is long overdue, and I'm sure it's going to happen very soon.
Right, Gaurav, we got you late on the show, but let me quickly ask you this question. Kohli, Sharma and Dhawan scored 77% of the runs at the beginning of the tournament. With Dhawan out, how much pressure would build on Kohli's shoulders now?
Yeah, definitely there will be pressure on Virat because clearly, you know, you haven't been able to get that platform, especially at the start. We saw KL Rahul play really well against Pakistan, but it's what to come underneath. I mean, Vijay Shankar at 4, we've talked about MS Dhoni's form. So that's the question, how does Virat bat? Because before he had the luxury of Rahul at 4 and then MS, but now you've got an inexperienced Vijay Shankar, then MS is not hitting the ball, Kedar who hasn't had. So I think it changes his mindset. He probably cannot be as aggressive as what he could have been with someone like KL Rahul batting at 4.
Right. One last question to Ibrahim before I let you go. Virat Kohli scoring big against Afghanistan. What does it mean to the Afghan fans? Does Virat Kohli has a similar fan following in Afghanistan as we've seen in Pakistan, in Australia and in England?
Yeah, he's a brilliant player. He's world #1 player. And majority of our young talent are starting looking after him to start their career. So he's a big player, you know, from his statistic, what he got in his career. So he's an amazing player, and he got love, not just inside Afghanistan, but in the whole world. He's an icon player, and he's just amazing cricketer. And his wickets was just like winning a match against India today when he got by Zaze in the bowling of Muhammad Nabi Sahil.
Right.
So he's a great leader and great player, yeah.
Right. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me on the show.